Some of you might want to throw us under a bus after this.
Yeah. All right, man. We are recording.
All right.
Okay, so welcome, listeners. This is Shouting at Goombas podcast, episode 1. And this is the podcast about shouting at Goombas and stuff. Basically just like, game-related news, stuff going on in and around shouting at Goombas. In terms of content that we're working on, all that kind of good jazz, game news, stuff like that. Just like so much excitement, you don't even know what you're going to do with yourself. It's going to be sexy. Right, Steven?
Yeah. What are we going to do with ourselves? I don't know.
Well,
if this goes really bad, we could always just hang ourselves.
It's always an option. Yeah. Or ordinarily, we got 4 of us. But the other 2 are, jerking off dogs. I literally at least we know what David's doing. Terry, he could be, who knows?
Yeah.
Making out with a mayonnaise jar. which is most likely.
Yeah. Oh, that Terry.
It's some good stuff. Yeah, well, I'm Skylar. Right now I'm currently doing the show An Isaac a Day, which is basically just it's sort of like an Isaac Binding of Isaac Let's Play, but it's all spliced down and super hardcore MTV fast action cuts. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then got another show with my girlfriend Nikita that is Mumble Theater, and essentially it's just we sort of took the idea of people mumbling in the theater, talking to each other throughout the show, and sort of making fun of it and making comments, and just sort of turn that into a show. Yeah, we got the first episode, which is Transformers: Dark of the Moon up. Hey
Skylar, I think The Simpsons did that.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Just.
Oh, no, I get it. Fuck you.
Simpsons did it. But, anyway, I'm Steven, and, I have less things going on than Skylar does, but, my stuff is probably just about as big. I run my own gaming clan, and and I also run my own Minecraft server, which is going to be at the forefront of, shouting at Goombas, having our own little segment for that.
Yeah, you have a Minecraft show that you're gonna be working on. What's that gonna basically be like?
It's just going to be a Minecraft tour of to put in simple terms, a mega project tour a week.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Especially for people like me who basically have no friggin' idea how Minecraft works. I'm interested in watching your show, just to sort of have an understanding of what actually goes into everything.
Yeah.
Cool, that's exciting. Can't wait for that to go up. Yeah, cool. So that's us, and that's what we're doing. Well, let's move on to the news here. I think basically the big thing that I wanted to point out is the announcement of Vita TV.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. We just we took a look at it here, and it's basically a home console version of Vita that plugs into your TV.
I guess what they're calling it a micro console.
Yeah, I really I think that it's a fantastic idea. A lot of the times when
It could take
like,
off.
yeah, like I own a Vita and I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm sitting at home in the living room and the TV is available, like I would
Yeah,
much
exactly.
rather have it
I
on
don't
the
know. I think
TV.
I would rather, I like playing on either console or PC anyway, so unless I'm fucking traveling, handhelds are, more of a, more trouble than they're worth. But
Yeah,
the thing is, a lot of handhelds, like the Vita and the 3DS, they both have really good games on them.
yeah, hell yeah, and like
And
the Vita
they're
library
more
is
or
like,
less, they're pretty exclusive. Like,
oh yeah, you can only get those experiences on the Vita or the 3DS, and like I really, it's not gonna happen, but it would be amazing if Nintendo followed suit and
yeah,
had like some sort of 3DS
they might.
console. Like I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Wii U, but they gotta really straighten up because Wii U is tanking hard.
Yeah.
And like I am really pissed because I was so stoked for Wii U, and I own one.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I wouldn't count it out yet.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not counting it out at all. Like I think that a lot can come from it. But it
But
just
yeah, they do
hasn't
need to
been
get their
utilized.
asses in gear.
They do, like big
Like,
time.
I'm expecting them to put out some good games at
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, they goddamn well better,
Yeah.
or I'll kick them right in the snooze.
May as well.
Uh, yeah. So anyway, but Vita TV. So like Vita, like it's not just the console itself that's exciting though. It's the way that it's being used as sort of like a companion console to the PS4. Like it has full integration. Like I guess like from what I understand from the information that I've gathered is that you can have the Vita, like the
Yeah.
Vita TV plugged in on another TV in your house and stream PS4 to it.
Nice.
Yeah, so essentially now, like because of the way that it's working like over the network and like being able to remote play the PS4 to Vita devices,
Yeah.
essentially like you could potentially have a Vita TV, bring it to a friend's house, plug the Vita TV into their TV and start playing your PS4.
Yep. Or you could do something similar like that and watch a video.
Yeah, exactly. Like watch a video, and then like the Vita itself, like the Vita has a really strong library. It's a huge catalog of PSP.
Already?
Well, it's got a huge catalog of PSP and PS1 games
Oh yeah, that's right.
that can be played on it. Like I don't know, like it's like when I first saw it, like my gut reaction was like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah.
And now I've kind of like I understand that like it's actually pretty cool. And like getting more Vita hardware into the consumer's hands is beneficial to me because that
Yeah.
means there's a larger install base for them to be developing Vita games.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, all the power to them. I'm excited for it.
The only thing I'm a little worried about for the Vita TV is it only has 1 gigabyte of internal storage.
Yeah, that's bizarre. And I guess like they have they're still using the proprietary Vita memory cards,
Oh yeah.
which is bizarre. But they have planned or are already releasing them at a reduced price point
Yeah.
because they've got a 64 gig Vita memory card that's being released for about $100.
Yeah.
Which is $100 is $100. That's a lot of money, but I don't know. You can fit a lot of Vita games on a 64 gig.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's sort of. Then again, I mean, you can get a 64 gig SD card for like what, like $30?
Something like that.
Yeah, like super cheap. Anyway, I don't know. Like it's pretty exciting. Was there anything else in the news that sort of caught your eye there, Steven?
Not really.
That was kind of the big thing for me.
Yeah, there hasn't really been all that much in the news lately.
No, I mean, there's like little things, but,
At least, yeah, at least for gaming anyway. The biggest thing in the news, just waiting for the PS4.
waiting for the PS4. They did announce a new slimline PS Vita.
Oh?
Yeah, that's coming out. I mean, like it basically, like it's just a little bit smaller, a little bit.
Oh, okay,
More
yeah.
slim. You know, like it's a nicer looking unit than
Yeah.
the Vita that's already out. But I mean, like
I don't know, I don't mind the current Vita.
No, it looks great.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, you know, I'm not jealous of this slim Vita. Like I don't feel the need to buy one.
Yeah.
You know, over the Vita that I already own.
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks nice. You know, I think people are gonna be down for it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So yeah, I guess we could just move on to our next segment, which is our 5 up, 5 down. And basically what it is we just basically, like, instead of doing top 10s, we're doing like a top 5 and like bottom
Bottom 5.
So just like have a comparison. You got some
So,
good shit, you got some bad shit.
just to make our viewers all aware, some of you might want to throw us under a bus after this.
Yeah. there are a couple of things that are probably gonna. I mean, everybody gets pissed off at everything. It's the internet.
Exactly.
But so we're doing top 5 and bottom 5 gaming controllers. So we'll start with the top 5 gaming controllers at number 5.
The NES.
The NES. Solid. You know, solid controller.
It's simple. It's basic. For the time, it was a really comfortable controller. The only gripe I really had with it was Nintendo thumb after a while.
Yeah, on the D-pad.
Yeah.
The D-pad was kind of painful.
Yeah, after a while.
But you know, like, I mean, like, it was solid. Like I hadn't even thought about, you know, things like controller responsiveness, because it was just perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's never an issue. Like,
It was never the controller with the NES. It was always the games.
Yeah. Yeah, like and like they were very durable. Like, I don't remember my NES controllers even wearing out. You know?
I'm just trying to think. Can they even wear out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Those things are like about as durable as a brick, almost. A brick of plastic, but still.
No, I don't know. Like, it was just a fantastic controller.
Yeah, they had minimal moving parts.
Yeah, it earns that number 5 slot pretty easily, in my opinion.
Right, it does.
So then we'll move on to number 4, which is a GameCube controller.
Yep.
And like, honestly, like, everything about it, I really liked. One of the things that would really stand out for me was the how do you describe it? Like, the pressure sensitive shoulders.
Yeah, I really liked those because, for one thing, it almost felt like it was a trigger too. So like, it had like those little grooves or whatever on the L and R switch.
Yeah.
So your fingers just naturally slid into those, and you could press them a bit, or you could press them in all the way, and they would make that clicking.
Yes.
Feel.
That's something that I like too. Is like, and I can't remember many games.
The only shame about that was not a lot of games took advantage of that.
Yeah, they really should have. Like, I know I used it tons for Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
Because, if you pressed it in a little bit, then you sprayed your little hose, and then you could still run around.
I used it a lot for Rogue Squadron, because that was break.
What did it do in that?
That was break and boost.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Because R was your throttle, and in my opinion, that is the best way to do it for those kind of games. Make L and R your brake and throttle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I really liked, like everything about the controller, like the layout was great. I like the different size and shape of the face buttons.
Yeah.
They were like easy to find, and they were like I don't know, spaced really well, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it was just I don't know. I really did enjoy
Yeah.
it.
And it was also the only minor gripe, and this is really not, is having the C stick off center from the analog.
Ah, right. Yeah,
That
that was a little bit
is
strange.
that's a really minor thing though. You get used to it.
Yep. All in all, it was a pretty solid controller, though. I mean, there's definitely worse, and we'll get to
Yeah.
that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so on to our number 3,
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, improving on a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This.
it was great. Like it was the next evolution of the NES controller.
Yeah,
Like it's
there's nothing really bad I can say about it except for once again the dreaded Nintendo thumb.
yeah, but I mean, like
You're yeah.
it was a smoother controller though too. Like that D-pad
Yeah.
was not painful.
Exactly. And it had more buttons, which was really nice for fighting games.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Genesis, you needed to fucking get like a 6-button controller just to fucking do the same kind of combos that you could do on the regular Super Nintendo pad.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it would I really liked it.
They were spaced perfectly. And you know what? They're still using that button pattern today
Yes, they are.
for
Because
the
it's perfect.
A, B, X, Y. Yeah.
It just works perfectly, So we're going to move on to our 1 and 2 slot, and like this is the internet in a nutshell. Like rage wise.
Yep.
These two, like, it's going to piss people off, but whatever. Just be pissed. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So our number 2 is the Xbox 360 controller.
Yep.
And it's solid. It's a good controller. Utilizing like the Super Nintendo layout, like we were talking about.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, both these controllers, not to give anything away, but it's probably pretty obvious, but, that's the thing that it has in common, both these controllers. They both have that same layout of the face buttons.
Yep. The thing now, like the solid thing that is sort of the standout for the 360 controller to me is it has really good triggers.
Yeah. To me, I think that is, it's a real standout thing too. I don't like the bumpers so much as I like the triggers because those are true triggers.
Yep. And those triggers are very nice. The face buttons are great. Now, I personally am not a fan of the asymmetrical stick layout.
Yeah, I'm not either. My other minor complaint is the D-pad is a little bit stiff.
The D-pad, yeah, it is a little bit stiff. Yeah, and but it's a really good, a solid controller all around. Never really had too many issues with it. The D-pad.
I didn't really use the Xbox 360 controller I didn't use it enough to really bitch about it.
I used to be like an avid Xbox 360 owner, and like I'll tell you that D-pad had issues. It was not accurate, and I actually I owned Street Fighter 4 on my Xbox 360. Yep, and that D-pad is brutal for fighting games. No,
the only reason I even have an opinion on the Xbox 360 pad is one, I have used it before, and two, I bought one for when they released it under their Xbox for Windows accessories brand.
Oh, yep, yep.
So I bought it for my PC, and for playing Crisis and stuff, it's great.
Yeah, no, that's actually that's another bonus of the controller is its Windows integration.
Yeah,
You know, like if you can get like the wired one or the one that's made for games for Windows.
yeah, because the one I've got, it's wireless, but it's got the sensor you just plug into the
Yeah,
USB.
you got to have the dongle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah, solid. So we'll move on to the number one, and I think it's pretty obvious what it is. The DualShock 3,
yeah.
or really any DualShock.
Any of the Dual Shocks, yeah.
But we'll go with DualShock 3 because it is the most current. And, you know, honestly, now let's start with the gripe, and I'll say that, the triggers on the DualShock are not as good as the 360 controller.
I can agree with that.
You know?
Other than that, there's not really any other gripe.
No, everything else, it is a very responsive controller. I am a big fan of the symmetrical sticks.
Yeah,
Like
same.
huge fan. Like I enjoy that. And the D-pad is like much better than the
There's a
360.
reason why Logitech has based like the past 3 or 4 generations of their controllers off of the DualShock.
Yeah, it's just you know it is as
It
of
looks almost exactly like it, and because it works, it's taken the DualShock 3 has basically taken like some of the best features from a ton of different controllers.
yeah,
Super
and
Nintendo.
it's just a solid controller. You know, and to top it all off between the two, which is the 360 and the PS3, is the internal battery.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why? You know what the new the Xbox One controller doesn't have an internal battery either.
What?
I know, like
Oh.
I don't even know what their train of thought there is, but
What were
anyway,
they thinking?
yeah, that's sort of going a little bit off track, but
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
it's yeah, there it is. There's the top 5 list. So let's move on to what everybody really wants to hear about.
the bad.
The bad controllers. So we're gonna go with the absolute worst. Oh no, not the absolute
That's the
worst.
worst.
The best of the worst. So our number 5,
Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64. I think that the N64 controller is monstrosity.
To be fair, it looks like a monstrosity, but I'm left-handed, so it was perfect for me as a kid.
Yeah, okay, like
Playing Star Fox, GoldenEye, all those good games.
oh, like the N64 games, I have no gripes.
No, like, I don't
They're
know, the
good. They're good
controller, it
games.
just felt right playing those games with that kind of controller, at least to me, because maybe I'm left-handed, but
I don't know, man. Okay, like the thing is like if you're using that stick to control, which is 95% of the games,
yeah.
as soon as you put your hand on that stick, like you lose access to the D-pad, and for me, the L button. Like
Yeah.
you lose access to those buttons.
The biggest gripe I have with that is, with that controller is not so much the Nintendo thumb as the fact that over the years, the analog stick would loosen.
Oh yeah, man. I had N64
That,
controllers. That the
I am
stick.
really glad they came beyond that, technological drawback.
Oh my god. I had N64 analog sticks that literally just flopped to the side.
Yeah.
Like and like you know what game destroyed controllers was fucking
Mario
Mario
Party.
Party. Yeah. Fucking
All of them.
waggling that stick around. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a joke. And I don't know. And then there was other stuff about that controller that was weird too, like the big friggin' 900-pound rumble pack.
Yeah, at least
You
the
know?
memory packs were nice and light.
Yeah,
Well, they better have been.
yeah. I don't know. Like, and it was just
900-pound
if
rumble
you're
pack,
if you're
yeah.
playing 4-player games, you're guaranteed that 1 or 2 of those controllers is gonna be shit, and nobody's gonna want to use them.
Yep.
Because the stick's worn out. It's got
Yep.
weird gunk in it.
Yep.
I don't know. It sucked, that controller.
Yeah.
I mean, there's worse, and we'll get to that right now, actually. Unless you have anything else to say.
Nope. Number 4.
So move on to number 4. Now this is sort of controversial, I guess, but we're going with Wii U gamepad, and this is mostly by my suggestion. Now, don't get me wrong, the Wii U gamepad, as far as a controller is concerned, like the sticks, the buttons, the way it feels in your hand, it is fantastic. It rests like perfectly, the triggers on your fingers and everything. It feels great and is very responsive. Now, it is on this list because the battery life is garbage.
More like lack of battery life.
Yeah, there's no the battery dies right away. Now, if you want to use it as an off-screen controller for Netflix or like video playback, it's the speaker is too quiet.
Oh, really?
Yep. You can't, like, if there's any background noise whatsoever, you can't hear it. Because the speaker is just that weak.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Well, it basically eliminates, a function that it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah.
Like one of the big things for me, and like this is gonna seem silly, but I mean, like it's one of the things that I thought of when buying the unit, is I throw on Netflix,
Yeah.
I bring that gamepad into the kitchen with me with its little docking base,
So that you can watch it, yeah.
so I can watch it when I was doing dishes.
Yep.
It's not like it's just a little minor thing, but it doesn't fucking work.
Well, Skylar, the only thing I have to really say to that is that'll teach you.
Well, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, it's one of the things I wanted to use it for, and it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but thankfully, supposedly they are going to release maybe a better battery or something for it.
I've heard of that, but that won't fix the speaker.
No, unfortunately.
Which is too quiet.
They almost, I think if they released like a second edition of it, it would be perfect. If they, for whatever reason, listen to this podcast and they were like, hey, we should fix these problems, I think the Wii U gamepad would be perfect.
So there's one more big problem with that gamepad that I'm going to get to right now. And
All right.
The biggest atrocity of the fucking thing that they could possibly have. And
What
you want
is
to know
it?
what that is?
Yeah.
It's a touch screen, right?
Yeah.
That touch screen is shit.
Really?
It's fucking shit. Like it's weird, not responsive. It does its own weird things on its own. It's a single touch. It's not multi-touch.
Oh.
And it's not good. Like,
yeah, I could see the single touch being a problem.
Well, I mean, and it wouldn't be that a problem if it was responsive, but it's not. And like I'll be like trying to do something simple, like go through the Wii shop, like the Wii U eShop.
Yeah.
And it'll just select stuff. I'm trying to scroll a page, but no, it'll just select stuff. And I'm used to, like, I have my phone is a Samsung Galaxy S3.
Mm-hmm.
And the touchscreen on this thing is light years better than the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
The Vita touchscreen is amazing and responsive.
Yeah.
No, it is a joke.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like that Wii U gamepad, it's a phenomenal controller. It feels great. But it, for those reasons, it is on this list.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess number 3.
Yeah, man. We're on to the original Xbox controller.
Keep in mind, this is the original Xbox controller, not the second revision.
Yeah, the second revision's fine. It's a good controller.
Yeah.
But come on. Like,
Oh God.
the original Xbox controller is the size of the rest of your family.
Yep. You unless you have like gigantic hands, then this controller is going to feel way too big. And
you really, like, if you don't know what this thing looks like, you owe it to yourself to go and look it up.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's huge.
With that controller, they basically cut out a major demographic, kids.
Yeah. Or just humans.
I mean, a gorilla would probably have a fine
That's
time
what it was for.
with the original Xbox controller.
The original Xbox was meant to bring gaming to the gorilla community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, original Xbox games were great.
Yeah.
I have one, and I have, like, one of the revised controllers. The smaller ones. Yeah, but I mean, that thing, fuck. I actually kind of wish I owned one just so that I had one. Cause it's funny. It's a funny controller.
Yeah.
And that's really, like, all you can say about it. Is it's too big.
Way too big, yeah.
You know,
The face, from what I remember, the face buttons and everything were fine.
Yeah.
That's really about it.
Yeah, like, I remember it being responsive and, like, a good controller, I guess.
Analog stick was good. Pretty much by that era, they are around that stupid joystick loosening BS.
Yeah, they had all that sort of worked out.
Yeah, all of them had the rounded, analog stick, so you wouldn't have to deal with that console thumb.
Yeah, no, it was good in that regard, but just too big. But we'll move on to some weirder controllers here at number 2. And we're gonna be talking about the Dreamcast controller.
We're gonna get thrown under a bus for this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you gotta admit, that thing is fucking weird.
At number 2, the Dreamcast controller.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird controller. And, like, if you didn't have a VMU memory card, you were gonna be missing out on parts of the game, actually.
Yep.
Because it was displayed on the memory card's little screen.
Yeah, and you know what? Those VMUs died out so fast.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they were just such a, it's an interesting experiment, and like, they had some good ideas.
Yeah.
Like, if that had been a decent little unit, that could have really taken off. But whatever. It was a joke. It's a weird controller. Felt weird in the hand.
I think the one thing they got right was the face buttons. No, wait, no. They also did get right. They did have triggers.
Yeah, the triggers were good. But it's a single analog controller.
Yeah.
So this is before dual analog time. It leads to clunky controls.
Yeah.
There are games that have, like, serious camera problems. And even if it was bound to the D-pad for camera controls, you have to take your thumb.
Who the hell puts the D-pad right underneath the analog stick?
Yeah, exactly. Just weird. It was a weird controller, and
I'm not even an engineer, and even I know that's a horrible, horrible idea.
Yeah, it's funny. Like really, like, if you're unfamiliar with Dreamcast controller too, look it up. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So weird. Okay, anyway, and I owned a Dreamcast.
I never did.
Yeah, I was happy with it. Like, the games were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The few that they made.
Yeah.
I mean, but whatever, that that's not here what we're here to talk about, the end of the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Well,
But
but we're gonna move on to the absolute, our number one.
and I think everybody will agree with us
Yeah.
on this.
I mean, like you will. 'Cause it's the Atari Jaguar controller. And, like seriously, like what the fuck is
What
up
were they
with this
thinking?
thing?
What
You
were
know,
they thinking?
it's sort of like, it looks like, if a Genesis controller had sex with a telephone.
Yeah.
Like an old telephone.
Yeah.
Or no,
Uh,
not a telephone, like an old TV remote. Hey,
pretty much,
what do you
yeah.
think? Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah, I'd
You
say,
know, there's some sort of intercontroller sexual.
it looks
Ed-
like something that would have been found in one of those, shitty hotel consoles.
yeah, yeah. It looks
This is a
exactly.
console. That's the bad thing.
It looks like something that should be hardwired into a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh god. It's disgusting. It's a Sega Genesis controller. It's got its D-pad, which is awful. The layout of the 3 CBA buttons are sort of like angled up weird, so you have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have like the Genesis aesthetic where the buttons are laid out properly.
Yeah, there's no saving grace with this controller.
No, it's got like
The only good
weird.
thing is while I play the Jaguar, I can just pause the game and dial a number for pizza.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I wouldn't be playing on a Jaguar. Oh.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and then like to top it all off, like below those weird buttons, it's got a bunch of numbered buttons, like 1
Yeah.
through whatever. It's a phone pad or whatever. Yeah, it's
They
pathetic.
managed to fuck up the phone pad. Don't you know that phone pads are supposed to have round or square buttons?
Yeah. Oh well.
Whatever.
So there we go. That's our 5 up, 5 down for the week. Yeah, I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
Kind
All
of
right.
kind of turned me on a little. And by a little, I mean a lot.
Oh, Skylar.
Yeah, so we'll move on then to what we're currently playing. So you want to take it away?
Sure. Okay, well, for this segment of currently playing, I am currently playing Minecraft. My team and I, which consists about 6 or 8 people, we have our own Minecraft server, and I will post the IP at a future date, so you can come and take a look around. We've got various projects going on.
Awesome. So is there like how do they find you?
I do have a page made up on Planet Minecraft.
Okay. Maybe get that link up on Shouting at Goombas.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then we'll just like get links up like on the site to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that sounds cool. And then like basically like what has been absorbing most of my gameplay time lately has been The Binding of Isaac.
Yep.
And I play a shit ton of it. It's a fantastic game. I'm actually like very new to roguelike experiences, like where death is permanent.
Yeah, I've never really played those.
It's very interesting, like, when you do complete the game, it's very satisfying.
Oh, I bet.
Like it feels so good. And it's rare. It's rare to win.
Yeah.
Because Binding of Isaac is tough as balls. Like my balls.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching some of your episodes. Oh man.
Yeah, no,
It's intense.
It is. It can be pretty intense. And like you'll notice that like the show that I'm doing, an Isaac a Day, like I only have 2 or 3 successful runs.
Yeah, I actually noticed that.
Yep. I have way more successful runs that I haven't recorded.
Hmm.
You know, I don't record every game that I play.
Yeah.
I've beat the game considerable amounts of times, but it just so happens that like when I'm recording, it's rare.
You do horrible, yeah.
You know, like it is random, the items that you get.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. Well, most of the time you don't. There's a lot of death and a lot of frustration,
Yeah.
but you know, if you manage to beat it, it's very satisfying. So definitely that's a strong recommendation for anybody to play. You know, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy the content that we're creating here. This is our weekly podcast, just to basically like sum up what's going on with our site, and just sort of discussing some gaming news and information that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, maybe have a little bit of fun along the way. You know, discuss some top fives and some bottom fives, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're all about. So, like, this has been the Shouting at Goombas podcast, episode 1. Just sort of giving you an introduction here. And my name is Skylar,
And I am Steven.
and we are some cool dudes that you will grow to fall madly in love with.
Or you'll just want to kill us, but...
But you'll at least be making out with us as you're stabbing us.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be a sexy death. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. And,
all right.
And we will see y'all next week. Bye.